Hey everyone, my name's Jonathan and welcome to Academy of Mind. Today we're going to learn how to use quizzes and exams in your LMS. Using a quiz in a course is a great way to monitor a student's understanding of learning material. Quizzes contribute to a student's final grade in a course, and they can be helpful in determining if a student has met the requirements to receive a certificate of completion. Quizzes in the Academy of Mind LMS can be static or dynamic. A static quiz consists of a set number of questions you have created. The order can be changed or shuffled for each student's quiz. Alternatively, a dynamic quiz consists of questions that are randomly selected from a library of questions you have created in advance. This means that each student will have a different quiz, some more drastically different than others. When it comes to the type of quiz questions, in Academy of Mind, you can create your quizzes using multiple choice questions, multiple correct, or short answer. You can also set minimum passing percentages for courses, allow retakes, and create a maximum time limit that a quiz must be completed in. Without going any deeper, let's jump right into the Academy of Mind LMS and get started. Alright, so starting in the admin dashboard, click on courses, then we're going to go to quizzes. We're going to create quiz module, and let's just name this quiz module. After your quiz module is named, you can enter a description. And for the quiz type, we're going to keep this static so that the set number of questions that we create while creating this module are the same questions that every student's going to be asked while taking this quiz. Now we're going to create some questions for this quiz, but if you already had questions created in advance, you could import them via Excel here. Now for the question type, we're going to make a multiple choice quiz. So I'm going to leave that option as it is, and then I'm going to type in the first question. After typing in the first question, let's go ahead and edit the question here to create the choices for this question and then assign the right one as an answer. So first things first, we need to copy and paste the title into the question content. Now here's the context. The title of the question is for administrators to reference. Now the question and content is the actual question copy the students will see and answer in the quiz. So if I actually wanted my question to read, "What is the largest city in Pennsylvania?" then I'll have to copy the title, like I said, and put that in the question and content. Now, going down the line, let's talk about the category feature. The question category is used to easily group together a series of questions, and this feature is essential for creating a dynamic quiz because dynamic quizzes draw their pool of questions from a selected question category. But since this is a static quiz, we're going to ignore this feature for now. Moving on to the choices, all you have to do is click Add Option and you can begin writing your choices. And the correct choice, all you have to do is bubble in correct right here. Next, you can add an answer hint, and of course, these hints are shown to students while taking a quiz. You can also add an answer explanation. The answer explanation will be shown for each question on the scorecard after the quiz has been completed, unless answers are set to be hidden for this quiz, which can be done in the quiz settings. Now, after updating the questions, let's actually come back to the questions over here to see all the available questions in the LMS. Here you can see how some of these categories work, and actually on the next question, we're going to start using these categories. So I went ahead and created this question already, and basically it is a similar question. The question title is Food Philly is Known For. And actually how the question is going to be displayed to students is, what food is Philadelphia known for? ? So for the category, it's really simple. If you don't already have a category, you just go like this and you would type in the category and click it and it would create the category for you. Since I just created this category, let's categorize it as Philly questions. And as you can see, there's really no difference between how your window gets displayed when you click multiple correct versus multiple choice. But when you use multiple correct, of course, you can select multiple options that are correct. cheesesteaks, and Philly cheesesteaks. And you can reorder these like so, just by clicking them and dragging them. Let's put the answer, or the answer hint, sorry, it has cheese. The answer explanation, Philly cheesesteaks are delicious. There's no need for an explanation. Exactly. Lastly, let's create a third question that uses short answers instead of multiple choice or multiple correct. And the quickest way to do that is by coming all the way at the top of this page and clicking Add New. So I went ahead and created this question in advance. As you can see, the question is, until what year did Philadelphia serve as the nation's capital? That's exactly how I want the question worded. So I copy and paste that into question and content, categorize it the same as the past questions, except for this question type, we're going to do short answer. So with short answer, it's the same as multiple choice or multiple correct in the sense that you're going to go down here and add different choices. And you may be asking yourself, how come there's no option to tell the system which choice is correct? Here's the reason being. So with short answer, the student is actually typing in the response to the question. So one thing to keep in mind is that their typed answer, the student's typed answer, needs to match letter for letter and exact words as the business puts it in as their possibility. So the business can put in multiple possible answers to account for typos and maybe different sentence structure of the answer, spelling, all that type of stuff. And here's what I mean by that. So the question is, until what year did Philadelphia serve as the nation's capital? As we know, the question type is short answers. So I've listed 5 different choices to account for different typos, different spelling, and sentence structure. Of course, I also put as the answer hint, just type in the year with numbers. Maybe I could just type in the year using numbers. That's pretty clear, right? But you never know. Obviously, this is the ideal answer, but if the student types in any of these options, they will be marked as correct. Of course, you can also use an answer explanation if you would like. If not, just go ahead and update the question. Now coming back to the quiz we created, we have 3 different questions, all different question types. Now, if you were creating these questions in the other window, you may have to add some of these back. You can do so just by typing in the title of each question. You can order them how you would like. And before saving this quiz and really putting it into use for a course, let's actually talk about some of these more advanced options on the bottom. All right, so the first more advanced option we have for quizzes is to shuffle questions. Pretty straightforward. This just randomizes the order that questions are in. So let's toggle that on. And then the next option we have is force sequential ordering. This prevents learners from skipping ahead in a quiz. So they have to submit questions as they come to get to the next question. For example, if Bob is inside of the course taking this quiz, he has to submit an answer for question 1 before moving on to question 2. This doesn't mean he has to select the right answer on question 1, but he does have to submit an answer. So let's actually toggle that on as well. Next, you have the option to show students the correct answer after they've completed a quiz. And this is basically when they complete a quiz, they have their performance right there. So you can choose to always show the correct answer, never show the correct answer, or just never show it when retakes are allowed. We're not going to allow retakes on this quiz. So we're just going to say always show the correct answer. Of course, bringing it to our next point, retakes, if you leave this blank, then no retakes will be allowed. On the other hand, if you put a number here, then you'll be allowing for retakes. Next, we have minimum passing percentage. I'm going to put down 66%. And you don't have to put the percent. And then so students will be required to get at least 2 out of 3 of these questions correct to successfully pass this quiz. Of course, if you wanted to time the quiz and put a time limit, a maximum time limit on this quiz, then you could do that here as well, utilizing hours and minutes. All right, so let's go back to courses, and I want to select the correct course. So click on the course you want to add this quiz into, then go to curriculum, come to the bottom and click add module, then type in the name of the quiz you just created, and the quiz will now be inside of the course. So after saving the quiz, we're going to come and view the course as a student and take this quiz. First thing I want to point out is you can see that the time remaining is displayed here because we put a 1 minute time limit on this quiz. Next thing I want to point out is because shuffle is on, even though there's only 3 questions here, the exact order that they were ordered in on the back end while creating this quiz is randomized. It's a little different here because shuffle's on. Next, I want to point out, since for sequential ordering is on, I cannot go to the next question until I complete the current one. And of course, we said always show scorecard, so that's the case here. You can see the correct answers after submitting the quiz. And then there was no retakes allowed, and that's pretty much the advanced features right there. All right, boom. So you're basically a quiz expert. That's static quizzes. But last but not least, let's use the same questions to create a dynamic quiz so you understand how that works. So just go to quizzes, create new quiz just as we did before, and fill in the regular field. And after naming your quiz and filling in all the regular fields, make sure you select dynamic instead of static. For the category, choose the category Philly questions because that's what we categorized the 3 questions we created earlier today under. For the number of questions, let's select 2 to demonstrate how the dynamic functionality works. And now, as you can see, when I come in here as a student taking the dynamic quiz, you can see that there's 2 questions, and both of these questions were generated from the Philly questions category. Of course, this might make a lot more sense if we had a category filled with, say, 50 questions, and then the quiz was only using 10 questions, because the variation would be huge. However, the functionality is exactly the same. And just to demonstrate that, when we come in here and take the same quiz as a different student, you can see that the quiz is dynamic because 1 out of 2 of our questions is different. So if you haven't already, definitely go ahead and create your first static quiz in Academy of Mind. Go crazy, try out the different variations and features involved, and have fun with it. And if you want to learn more about dynamic quizzes, I'll put a video on the screen. So in addition to being a master of static quizzes, you can also create dynamic quizzes and be very confident at that. Thank you so much for watching. I know this was an extremely long one, but I really appreciate your support, and you really are amazing for watching this whole video. I hope this helps you create better training programs and e-learning courses. I'll see you guys next week.